right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Weather whiplash. Temperatures are on a roller coaster ride. Just how much of a dip they take by the end of the week.
Plus tonight, in less than 72 hours, St. Louis County could have a new leader. We talked to both candidates for St. Louis County Executive about Texas. But first tonight, always and forever. Tomorrow marks 2 weeks since the deadly school shooting. The CVPA community celebrating life and honoring the lives lost.
With each other and unity and love, that's where our healing takes place.
Tonight, students from Central VPA came together to heal, reflect, and call for action. Hundreds gathered at the high school for the Family Undivided March in celebration of life. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. The event today comes almost 2 weeks after a gunman opened fire on the campus, taking the life of student Alexandria Bell and teacher Jean Kushka. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay shows us how students and staff are healing together.
Step by step.
Stop the violence! Stop the violence!
Song by song.
He is wonderful.
Students, alumni, parents, and neighbors came together on Sunday afternoon to remember those they lost.
We are going to keep their name alive. We're going to keep their legacy alive. These were two beautiful souls, two pure hearts.
And call for action.
As a community, we need to come together and unify and change something.
The Family Undivided March in celebration of life was put on by Central Visual and Performing Arts High School students. Senior Raekwon Strickland says God had given him a vision about this day just 24 hours after the deadly shooting that changed his school forever.
Healing helps us in a time of pain because a lot of us never expected this to happen to our school. So right now we're still hurting.
Throughout the afternoon, the student body expressed their pain, doing what they do best.
This is a way of healing because we are healing through our creativity. We are healing through our art. We are healing through what we do.
The hundreds gathered behind the high school heard from speakers calling for unity.
This is the movement. We are the movement.
And a mom sharing her grief.
I don't want none of y'all, no adult in here, to feel the pain that I feel every day, knowing that I would never get to see my child graduate, perform in another recital.
While the scars from October 24th will always be here, the CVPA family wants everyone to know they aren't giving up.
I hope that they know that Central is yet alive, that we are in our healing process, and together we are moving forward.
Following the march, the Central VPA community also honored the lives of Jean Kushka and Alexandria Bell with a lantern release. There were also counselors at the event today talking with the community, as well as several different booths encouraging people to get out and vote on Tuesday. We want to make you aware of the list of resources we have for people impacted by the deadly school shooting. Text the word HELP to 314-425-5355. We'll send you a link straight to your phone.
We are following developing news out of St. Louis County. Tonight, police are investigating after a man was struck and killed by an Amtrak train at Castlewood State Park. It happened just before 4 p.m. on Kiefer Creek Road. West County Police responded to the call about a railroad incident. Upon arrival, they found a man lying on the ground. He was pronounced dead on scene. Amtrak tells us no one on the train was injured, and they're working with law enforcement to learn more. We're just 2 days away from Election Day. Candidates are hitting the ground for the final hours of campaigning, and that includes the candidates for St. Louis County Executive. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski joins us now with a look at their final push for votes. Laura?
Mike, we caught up with Republican Mark Mantovani on Friday and talked with incumbent Sam Page today as they've been out and about on the campaign trail. Both of them are feeling good ahead of Election Day and feel like they've done everything they can to get people to the polls. St. Louis County Executive candidate Mark Mantovani joined the growing number of county residents who voted early, sharing a hopeful outlook heading into Election Day.
I'm excited to get this thing submitted to the voters and to hear what the voters think. I think we've run a campaign that I'm very proud of. We've tried to stay positive. We've tried to talk about our view of the community, and I'm I'm excited to see how the community feels about things.
Incumbent County Executive Sam Page says he'll be voting on Election Day and is expecting a lot more people to cast ballots this year.
I think they're going to have a bumper voter turnout this year, much more than we have in mid-cycle elections in the past. Really a lot at stake in our country. We're talking about the heart and soul of democracy, access to abortion rights, responsible gun legislation. There's a lot on the ballot this time, and I really encourage everyone to get out and vote.
Both candidates faced off in a debate last Tuesday. They focused on both national and local issues, one being online sales tax, something Missouri doesn't collect right now.
We would consider going back to the voters to look at the question of an online sales tax, which is unfair to our local small businesses because their customers pay that tax and services that are purchased online do not.
Manavani says he doesn't think that's something St. Louis County needs.
I absolutely reject increasing taxes until I have an opportunity to run my own budget. Would I favor the online tax at this point? No, I would not, because I think there's waste, fraud, and abuse there.
We'll be following this race very closely on election night. We have more on both of their stances on KSDK.com.
By now, we've heard a lot from politicians running for office in the executive or legislative branches of government. Tonight, our political editor, Mark Maxwell, takes a closer look at how your vote could impact the third branch of government.
When you walk into a voting booth Tuesday, at the bottom of your ballot, you'll see a lot of names you may or may not recognize.
You know, if you're not reading about a judge, if you're not hearing about a judge, 9.5 out of 10 times, that's because, their head's down and they're doing their work. And that is a good thing.
Presiding judges Mary Elizabeth Ott and Michael Stelzer are not on this year's ballot. Their colleagues who are don't run ordinary political campaigns in the public eye. Instead, the ballot simply asks voters, should they keep their job? How often do judges lose their retention elections?
It is unusual. I'd say it's infrequent, I'll put it that way.
Voters get the final say in whether to fire a judge, but the decision to hire them in the first place is far more rigorous.
There's no one person that selects us and says, you should get this job.
Missouri created a complicated vetting gauntlet 80 years ago in an effort to remove corrupt political influence from the selection process.
Those tensions are tensions that have been felt by the judiciary for decades and generations.
Once a candidate applies to become a judge, a commission reviews their qualifications and experience, picks 3 finalists, and the governor picks from that pool.
I've always said if the commission does their job well and picks 3 good candidates, which I think they almost always do, then the governor can't make a bad decision.
After a governor selects a judge, then that judge is subject to evaluation by a different committee.
So how do you know to keep a judge on the bench or send them packing? Lawyers and members of the jury review and rate each judge in anonymous surveys. And lawyers, retired judges, and lay people grade the judges' performances with a score.
For those people who say, I just go in and vote them out, I think that I have confidence in our Missouri voters that they will take the time to educate themselves and to really find out. And I think they'll be very pleased to find how well the judiciary is performing.
We have a link to each judge's grade up on our website right now. In St. Louis, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
We put together a comprehensive voter guide on all the candidates and the issues on both sides of the river. There's also information on early voting, election day hours, and requirements. Text the word guide to 314-425-5355. We'll send you a link. Join us election night for expanded results, reaction, and analysis. Our coverage will begin as soon as the polls close at 7 p.m. on 5+ and on KSDK.com. Then join us for an expanded edition of 5 on your side at 10.
Reimagining playgrounds.
The whole idea is to get kids with and without disabilities to play together.
The heart and mission of a local mother to make playgrounds across the country universally accessible. Social Security recipients are getting a big bump in pay. But is it thanks to President Biden? We verify.
Weather across the bi-state region for Election Day looking pretty good, but there are changes coming later this week. The pattern shift that brings us much colder temperatures.
Every kid deserves a great place to play, and that's the mission of a local woman whose son couldn't play on most playgrounds. So as you'll learn in tonight's Making a Difference report, she started a nonprofit to get her son and other kids like him off the sidelines. At Jake's Field of Dreams in Wentzville, kids don't need the latest technology to press the play button.
The spirit of Jake comes alive when I'm here. I can almost feel his presence.
Jake's Field of Dreams was named for Jake Vollmer, who was just 19 when he died of Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
We do miss him dearly. The playground just brings back his spirit a little bit.
One more time.
The playground was built not with a hammer and nails, but with compassion and conviction.
The whole idea is to get kids with and without disabilities to play together.
Natalie Mackey is the executive director and founder of Unlimited Play, which constructs universally accessible playgrounds.
Higher.
The nonprofit started because Natalie was having a hard time
And then what does IN mean?
getting playtime for her son Zachary,
No, you sound it out.
who was born with a rare nervous system disorder.
He woke up happy every single morning and he had an adventurous spirit.
In 2007, after hundreds of phone calls, handshakes, and fundraisers, she turned an empty lot in Lake St. Louis into an accessible wonderland, now known as Zachary's Playground. That was supposed to be the end of her efforts, but it was just the beginning.
I woke up to email after email from families just like mine asking me to continue, that their children deserve the chance to play and would I help them.
To date, Unlimited Play has designed and built more than 80 playgrounds all over North America. Their next project will be on the grounds of St. John's Evangelical United Church of Christ in South St. Louis.
It will be available to anybody and anywhere. It's open to anybody. It's not just for the church.
It will be called Logan's Playground, named for Logan Zielinski, who was only 12 when he died in a car accident.
Logan was so full of joy. He was funny. He was kind.
Logan will never know the kids who will play there, but they'll know him.
It'll be wonderful. I mean, it'll make him live on forever.
We go to the moon. To the moon.
Natalie Mackey's goal is to make everybody feel like a somebody. And her mission continues even though she lost her beloved Zachary a little more than a year ago.
His legacy and what these playgrounds give back to families has given me even more desire to continue to provide this opportunity, to continue to build communities around the idea of inclusiveness.
Natalie Mackey and Unlimited Play.
Natalie has changed so many lives all over the country, and she's very humble about it.
Showing us all that when it comes to our kids, there should be no limitations for fun.
Are we leaving?
Natalie's passion is unmatched with anybody else when it comes to inclusion.
By the way, Jim Vollmer, Jake's dad, is now the project manager for Unlimited Play. A reminder, if you know an inspiring person or someone making a difference, let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com.
Today, the 44th annual St. Louis Jewish Book Festival kicks off. Best-selling authors, investigative journalists, Netflix stars, and more will be speaking at the Jewish Community Center in St. Louis all week. The event kicking off tonight with a keynote presentation by former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch. Festival attendees heard the former ambassador speak on her book, Lessons from the Edge, and on the current crisis in Ukraine. The festival runs until next Sunday and features dozens of esteemed guest speakers and presenters throughout the week.
Well, it was another beautiful day in the St. Louis area, but there are changes ahead, right, Scott?
You know, this is going to be one of those weeks where we're going to have the opportunity to maybe use the air conditioner again, maybe flip-flops and shorts, and then get out the winter parka by the time we get to the end of the week. So Let's take a look at that full moon or nearly full moon rising tonight. Wendy sent this beautiful picture in from O'Fallon, Illinois. Just enough high, thin cloud cover out there to filter the moonlight, filter the sunshine, give us some nice color this evening. And we do have some high clouds drifting in, especially along and south of 44. Nothing that's going to produce any rainfall for us. Actually have a little cool front that has slid on to the south of St. Louis. At the moment, that means our winds have turned to the north around the St. Louis area. And that also means that we won't be quite as warm tomorrow because some cooler air will filter in. Not cold, but seasonable. The average high for this time of year is around 60 degrees. Tomorrow, we're thinking low 60s for highs. It's 57 right now. Our high today was 72 degrees. It's a pretty good return after a morning low of 45. Tomorrow, we'll have temperatures starting out in the 40s. Mostly clear to partly cloudy tonight. Some of those high clouds a little more in coverage. You'll have a bit more of it south and southeast of St. Louis. Tomorrow, though, it'll start pretty bright. By the end of the day, clouds are starting to roll back in. We're in the low 60s for highs. No chance for rain tomorrow. Good looking day. Election day is looking good weather-wise. We will have more cloud cover, though. It rolls in for tomorrow night into Tuesday. Limited amounts of sunshine, but it should stay dry on Tuesday. But with the cloud cover, probably not going to get to see that blood moon from the total lunar eclipse early on Tuesday. Here we are late Wednesday. This is after sunset. There'll be some showers off to our north and west. Wednesday and Thursday are warm days. This front comes through overnight Thursday night into early Friday morning, maybe with a shower, but more important, it turns our winds to a gusty northwest direction. That opens the door to some of the coldest air we have seen so far this season. In fact, probably 7 months since we've had high temperatures, more than 7 months, below 45 degrees back at the beginning of April. We're only going around 40 for the highs on Saturday and Sunday. And here's the thing, the wind is going to howl Friday afternoon, Friday night into Saturday. So that 40 won't even feel like that. And we'll have temperatures at night down into the 20s here as we head towards Saturday night and Sunday night. Then back into the low and mid 40s for next week with some extra clouds towards the middle of next week. Not a lot of opportunity for rain over the next few days, or for that matter, snow, heading into this weekend, but it definitely feels more like January by Saturday and Sunday.
You just said snow.
I know. I said it, but I said not a big,
I know. It's just
hard to hear
too
right
soon.
now.
I know.
All right, Scott. Well, Social Security payments are increasing in 2023. We verify if President Biden is responsible for these bigger payments. Police are investigating some mail delivered to the campaign headquarters of the Arizona Republican gubernatorial candidate. A suspicious white powder was delivered in an envelope to the headquarters of Kari Lake's campaign yesterday. A spokesperson for Kari Lake says authorities are testing the substance to try and figure out what it is, but Phoenix police say no one has been injured. Right now, the midterms push continues across the country. President Joe Biden, former President Barack Obama campaigning in Philadelphia this weekend. The duo's reunion acting as a last-minute effort to energize voters in the swing state. Former President Trump also took to the campaign trail in Pennsylvania. This state could determine which party controls the Senate.
Next year, Social Security recipients will get their largest cost of living adjustment in decades due to inflation. Brandon Lewis with our National Verify team looks into the White House's claim that gave President Biden credit for the increase.
On October 13th, the Social Security Administration announced it will increase Social Security payments by nearly 9% in 2023, one of the largest cost of living adjustments ever. 2 weeks later, the White House tweeted, "Seniors who receive benefits are getting the biggest increase in 10 years through President Biden's leadership." Republican Congressman Thomas Massie from Kentucky tweeted that the cost of living adjustment increase is based on an automatic formula, not the president. So let's verify. Is President Biden directly responsible for the largest Social Security benefit increase in 10 years? Our sources are the Social Security Administration, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the Social Security Act. In 1972, Congress directed the Social Security Administration to adjust the amount of benefits people receive in line with changes to cost of living. SSA explains on its website that it uses a set formula to calculate how much benefits should increase or decrease each year. This includes reviewing BLS data on changes to inflation and the Consumer Price Index, a snapshot of how much more or less it costs to buy certain items. The formula was approved by Congress and can't be changed by the president. So, no, President Biden is not directly responsible for the largest Social Security benefit increase in 10 years. The White House has since deleted its tweet. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What would you like for us to verify? Reach out. Email verify@ksdk.com. More people are talking about banning TikTok. The reason behind this renewed push after the break.
Right now, efforts to ban TikTok appear to be gaining support. Critics of the social media app fear that American data is ending up in the hands of the Chinese government. The renewed push for a TikTok ban as the company negotiates with the Biden administration on a potential written security agreement.
Once again, no one won last night's drawing for the Powerball jackpot. Now the record-breaking jackpot prize increases again, putting it at $1.9 billion. Another drawing will take place tomorrow night.
Verified users on Twitter now have to pay $8 a month to keep the little blue check mark. This after Elon Musk took control of the social media company. Controversial move by Elon Musk is receiving some backlash due to fears that the change would make it easier for someone to impersonate public figures. Musk is responding to the criticism by saying the company would suspend imposters.
I guess we're losing our check marks.
I guess we are, because $8 a month.
Yeah, not going to do it.
There you have it. 5 on your side at 10.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.